definitely for Trump, है ना? Now looking back and thinking, इनको खोकर मेरी जाने जा, उम्र भर ना तरसते रहो. Well, I hope कि उम्र भर वो तरसते रहें, because God knows we've been through a hell of a lot. How are we feeling about the election? Anybody care? Anybody interested? Hey, Merbanu Q. Dear gal. She's here because I sang Ajane Ki Zid Na Karo for no other reason. She's an extremely matlabi, unfeeling person. LOL. Hello, Fave. Love that shirt. I'm Mina Malik Hussain. How are you? Dear one. Mina Malik Hussain. Of Chan Kitha and Dil Lagaye and all my other video fame, other videos ka fame, other video ka fames. Sing some happy, happy, no please. Okay, happy, happy ka time aa gaya. Happy kya hona chahiye yaar is time pe? समझ नहीं आ रही. Yeah. Do you remember this? Vital signs. I remember this. Ooh, actually this fits right in because we're talking about color, so I thought we should do this. Savali saloni se Who could this be? This Samli Saloni, not you, because you're not Samli Saloni. America ke na Japan ke, America ke na Japan ke, hum to hai deewane multan ke, da 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 Even your happy voice sounds sad. Man, so broken. No, it's because I woke up a little while ago. I'm just getting ready. अभी तो मेरा तीसरा कप है कॉफी का. अभी जरा घंटे के बाद आना ना खुशबू लगा के फिर देखना क्या होता है. So guys, question: is any of you Savla or Savli? I mean, जामनी होंठ सराइकी बोले देखो ना. हम Savli Saloni सी महबूबा की बात कर रहे हैं ना. Talking about the dusky, dark-skinned beloved. So I just want to ask you, this word Savla, what does it mean? Where does it come from? My friend the other day, an Indian friend of mine, a good friend of mine from college, we were having dinner here in New York City, and he said to me, he said, so much of our desi kind of, I don't know, like, call it trauma or call it drama or whatever, is rooted in our colorism and our obsession with fairer skin, right? And with the lightness of skin. And so he said, he remembers that as a kid, when he would be sitting in those large gatherings of relatives on like a festive occasion, his parents would always make it a point to say, हाँ नंबर बहुत अच्छे लिए, एग्जाम में क्लास में फर्स्ट आ रहा है, मगर सांवला है, right? I mean, like, that's something that is very relatable because no matter where you are in the subcontinent, you have known that situation, right? So I was then reminded, I don't know if I've told you this or not, but my dadi, who was, bless her soul, a very loving and wonderful person, but who was also very fair-skinned and who was, I think, dismayed when I was born and then subsequently continued to be dark-skinned, and I remember Like when my pupu dyed her hair, streaked her hair. I guess streaked it, didn't dye it. Streaked her hair, which is all the rage in like the non-white world, right? Like brown people streaking their hair golden, which is great, you know. But in my dadi's case, I remember her saying, "पता है वो बाजार गई, ते उथे दुकान च गई, ते उन्होंने समझा कोई फॉरेनर आई हुई है, कोई फॉरेनर आई हुई, right?" And she loved that idea कि मतलब हम फॉरेनर बन गए. So yeah, and so with me, what she did was, speaking of this Samla thing, that I remember this distinctly. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, she did this to me. My dadi, irony of ironies, had this thing called, she used to use this, in Pakistan we have this thing called black cat talcum powder. Did anybody know this? Talc, right? Talc is like a staple of Desi boudoir, right? So my dadi, she said, "Ethe aa," and then I went to her, and then she took some black cat talcum powder and she rubbed it on my cheeks, and she said, "Eh raat nu la ke सौ जा, ते सवेरे जिसले उठेगा ते बस मुंह थोड़ा जा छट्टा मार के ते स्कूल टुर जाए, ते मां नूं ना दसी कि मैं लाया सी, रोज पर थोड़ा जा black cat talcum powder." Oh my god. So anyway, it happened for a few days, and then I was like, screw this, I'm not gonna do it. But I just want to say that it took me, I mean, like growing up, you know, I was often, whenever like I got into a fight with my classmate or with my cousin or whoever, the first thing they would say, you know, like, I was guilty of this. Like I would say to a cousin, you know, mota, 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 moti, moti, moti. And then when I got kind of chubby in my sort of early adolescence, I was called mota also. And oye mote, chal chal, mote, you know, that kind of thing. And also, I used to get called this a lot. They would say, oye kale, kale, you know. And my teachers would also sometimes, occasionally, rarely do this kind of thing. You know. I'm not going to quote them because we're all supposed to endlessly respect and adore our teachers, and I have fond memories mostly. But I'm just saying this to you. I'm saying to you that this is a trope, a common thing, right? But then there were all these songs like, "Oh, Samvali Saloni Si Mein," right? So in which we love the Samvala person. Samvala, ab isko socho na. So you see, Abhi somebody just said to me here, who's this person? This is S.M. Zamir says, result of insecurities dating back to British colonial times. Yeah, well, I think it's older than that, if we're going to be totally honest. I mean, we like to, you know, attribute all our problems to colonization, and a lot of our, certainly a lot of our sort of dysfunction is at the state level, etc., is attributable and can be traced back to the sort of colonial F-up. But I do think there are many things. Kala Shah Kala, exactly, Sabi. Kala Shah Kala, mera kala ve dildar te goriyan nu paran karo. So, ek to ye that there is this folk memory inside Desi music and Desi poetry and Desi storytelling, in which there is a black beloved or a dark-skinned beloved. And also language gives you this testimony, right? I mean, ek taraf to we are hearing, you know, Kala Shah Kala, Kala Shah Kala, mera kala dildar te goreyanu paran karo, te goreyanu paran karo, right? And this woman saying in that like folk idiom, hold on, my freaking batteries of my keyboard is dying, so I have to plug it. We have a woman saying, Kala Shah Kala, my beloved is dark, my beloved is dark skin. I don't want the fair people, गोरियां नु दफा करो, right? And कि गोरों को क्या पता कि love किसे कहते हैं और इश्क किसे कहते हैं और काला रे साइयां काला रे Varun Grover wrote. Varun Grover is a bright and brilliant person. I'm sure that he's written a terrific song. So yeah, but you find it over and over again, right? Samla beloved, Kala beloved. And actually, look at the language, look at the word. मैंने थोड़ी सी research की है इस पे. And I want you to know that the word Samla is actually, but of course, related to the word Saval, right? Saval Saval Mod Mohara. There was a boy in my school called Saval, and Saval means beloved, Sona, Pyara, Acha, dear, as in the dear one, the one who is dear to me. That's the Saval Mod Mohara, right? So Saval. And then I was thinking that probably the word Sanvaria from the sort of Ganga Jamni area and in Brij Bhasha, सांवरिया ने कैसा जादू डाला, और आपको पता है कि सांवरिया मूवी भी थी, तो सांवरिया का भी जो लफ्ज है वो यहीं से है, ढोल सांवल, एग्जैक्टली, सांवल, सांवला, सांवरिया। तो यानी यही सांवला जिसको हम एक तरफ बुरा कहते हैं या इसको हम एक नेगेटिव एट्रीब्यूट कंसिडर करते हैं, उसी में से हमारा सारा ये जो है वो प्यार का सिलसिला भी निकल रहा है। सो काइंड ऑफ वी हेट ऑन द डार्क पर्सन बट वी आल्सो लव सीक्रेटली द डार्क पर्सन। So what does that tell you? That tells you that there is this alternative folk tradition in which dark people, darker skinned people are associated with ecstasy, with truth, with questing, and with sacha pyar. And I have a feeling that this is linked to the really ancient, old sort of culture of the subcontinent. You've seen Krishan Maharaj, Krishna's depictions. He's depicted as dark blue, and he's often referred to as Samariya, right? As in ये ठुमरी है, 250 साल पुरानी है according to my ustad। Samariya ने कैसा जादू डाला So, I've been thinking about all of this because, of course, in this election, as we have seen, people of color, darker skinned people, and people with memories and consciousnesses that are non-white and that sort of, contain proof of America's deep, dark past, have won this election, have delivered this election to the Biden-Harris administration. And it is no coincidence, I think, that Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, the first woman VP of the United States, is of African American and South Asian descent. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that totally incredible? So actually we have a Desi VP in the house, in the White House. And that's why I'm wearing all these colors. Don't you see connections? Check out. So many connections. अब गाने का connections बहुत दे दिए, अब मैं गाना गाऊं। This is how I've been feeling since last night, when all the streets broke out in these beautiful chants and hoots and people honking their cars, and I was in a cab, and then there was a thank you Zarak Yusufzai, I'm having this coffee. In fact, Zarak Yusufzai, you should join us in like 5 minutes and tell us how you feel sitting in London about all of this, and I can ask you how to use my AeroPress मैं अपना मतलब भी निकालूं। So जब announce हुआ that Donald Trump, with his like constantly moving then absurd things that he does, I mean, it's incredible.